Hey, how are you this morning? Well, up there it's 12:41 in the United States. It's 11:41 down here. Friday, June 14th. Hey, came close to a Friday the 13th. Anyhow, um, I just read an article that's just really upset me tremendously. I know weapons. Okay, I was a member of rifle teams and stuff as such when I was a young kid. I love guns. I don't own any anymore because I don't have the disposition to own them nor the space uh, to, to own them. And in the country I'm in right now, I can't own them. Uh, but I like them. I'm fascinated by them, and not the skill is shooting at distances, not killing people. All right. So they just re- reversed the decision on Supreme Court. That is, just reversed the decision on bump stocks. I'm not exactly sure how they work. Uh, I've never seen one, so I can't really tell you. They apparently take a semi-automatic rifle and make it to a point where it fires many times faster than you can ordinarily fire it. Okay, almost like an automatic weapon. And of course, those are illegal. But the Republicans figure they're going to need all the firepower they can get when their version of the Civil War starts. So they made them legal again. I'm fascinated by this. I mean, there is absolute. You take an M14, not an M14, an M16 or a Kalashnikov AK-47, and you say, "Well, I'm buying it for hunting or sport." All right, here's the deal. Where do you need 20 round magazines? Okay? Those weapons aren't built for sport. Those weapons are built to kill people. Okay? So any excuse you want to come up with about having that weapon is just pure bullshit. Unless you want to kill people. Well, I'm going to defend my house. Have you ever seen this? I keep harping on this. Look at films of war and watch guys with automatic weapons. They don't sight those things in. 90% of the time they stick it over their foxhole or the wall, whatever's around, and just open up. It's to discourage people from coming forward. That's why we have automatic weapons, because the Chinese used to send so many people forward during the Korean War. We couldn't keep up with them, so we needed greater firepower. All right, they're good if you're shooting against a mass wall. They're shit if you're trying to shoot down a sniper. Okay, so I have no idea why people need them. Sport and hunting are just not. If you got to go in the woods and you need a 50 round magazine to go in the woods and hunt a deer, you're not hunting it to eat it. You're hunting it to scrape it off, to use it for fertilizer or something, because there'll be nothing left of it. And that and the caliber and the type of bullets that are used as well. Armor piercing and various other types of bullets that are being used and whatnot, and the caliber of the gun. Okay. Um, I have this written down. I have to read this. Uh, oh yeah, there's a story here. Also saw it where local news seems to be collapsing. You're losing local news, which I don't experience that down here because we have two major channels where I live. One is called Caracol, which is basically stories that come out, some international stories, but they're basically stories that are centered in Bogota. And then I have Teleantioquia, which is pretty much all stories associated with Medellin and the surrounding area. So there's no, technically, there's no real national news. Nobody pays any attention to it because they hate the president, they hate the politicians, yet they vote for him in numbers. Very confusing state down here. Um, they hate the president, but they're not doing anything about it in terms of trying to recall him or stop them from doing things that they don't like. So I don't know what's going on there. Back in the U.S., I'm looking at things with that going along with that bump stock. If we don't stop the Supreme Court before the election, won't make any difference who wins. Trump will come out on top. Okay, uh, you you sit around and you look at his policies are going to bankrupt this country, put us in such a hole we'll never get out of it. We will be a third world. Well, third world will probably be a fourth world country by the time he's done. He doesn't like the United States. He doesn't like anybody except himself when he looks in the mirror. And I think he laughs a lot when he looks in the mirror because he's funny looking, fat and funny looking, you know. But he thinks he's the greatest thing since white bread, ovens, whatever. You know, he just thinks he's never wrong. Uh, he's always the smartest person in the room. Now, if I always said I want to debate him. Now, obviously, I don't know all the ins and outs of the workings of politics and the various programs that are out there, who they benefit and who they don't. But I do know that 90% of what he says is bad for the country, is bad for the common man. All right? Uh, Bad for the country, and which in turn would be bad for the country as a whole. But people don't seem to pay any attention to that. You know, I mean, the common man, a lot of them like him. And it's like I said before, you know, when the countries are always looking to blame somebody. People are always looking to blame somebody. And I don't know what it is they dislike so much about this country, but they're putting the blame on immigrants, and it used to be they blamed the black people. You know, just a few years ago, everything was the black people's fault, you know. Now it's the immigrants' fault. You won't have to worry about sending your kid to college if Trump becomes president because the education is not a big on his issue. You know, you have guys like DeSantis wanting to be part of this thing, you know, and DeSantis doesn't like books. Okay, I've read most of the banned. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've read a lot of the banned books. I read them when I was younger. I found them interesting. And then I watched it like Orwell's 1984. I've watched that actually start to come to fruition. You know, maybe that's why they don't like it. And the same thing with the Handmaid's Tale. I see some schools ban that, and I sit there and I watch and I say, this is happening right now. We're just too stupid to see it. I don't know I don't know what the phenomenon is that makes people not see these things as I see them. And I don't pretend to know there's in and outs. I just report what I see in the general public. I mean, I live in a country. I'm in a country now where if a guy starts beating a woman on the street, nobody pays any attention. I saw it. My wife pulled me away. I was going to go. Well, I was going to get my ass kicked probably, but I was going to do something. But that's the way it is. You know, this is the country I live in, and that's what's going to happen in your country. Women are going to lose their rights. You know, we have they have a terminology down here, feminicide, which is the murder of women, and it's higher than the actual murder rate. You know, and homicide rate. It sounds better, I guess you could say homicide rate in Colombia. If that's what you want in America, I guess so. I don't know. You know, I have no. I'm not there anymore on a daily basis. My friends that are there are mostly older people, like close, if not my age, close to being retirement age. You know, and they're just don't care. You know, uh, I know some people that have had trouble with women, and that they probably, you know, they're not going to care what they do to women, you know, because women are, they blame women for where they are in life, you know, and it's got nothing to do with women. They're just stupid. They make big mistakes. They've been like me. I made a lot of mistakes, letting drugs and alcohol do my thinking for me. So I know, you know, something about that too. But I can't for the life of me understand where people think Trump is better for this country, or the Republicans. And that guy, what I'd say his name was, I lost it. I lost it. Hold on one second, because he's in the news again today. MSNBC actually has an article up about this guy, which I haven't gotten to yet. And his name is, I think his last name is Voight. Russ Voight is the most dangerous mega diehard you've never heard of. And that's from MSNBC. And they're right about that. That's what I've said all along. I don't want to read articles like that because the reason I don't want to read the articles like that is that because I've been saying there are people behind Trump and they're the ones you have to worry about for about a month now. And nobody listens to it. Nobody makes any comments about it. Nobody says, well, no, because the people out there are getting dumber and dumber by the minute. I'm not as smart as I was 20 years ago. You know, I'm losing it slowly, I guess, with age. You know, so I have problems with it. But like, nobody wants to do anything. You know, they want to talk about it, but nobody wants to do anything. If I was home, I'd probably, I don't have money to invest, but I would invest my time and energy in people that are like-minded, you know, and see what we can do. You know, even if I can only contribute a few dollars here and there, you know, because I'm at an age where I don't give a shit if I lose my job because of something like that. You know, I just think that I worry about. I think the problem that these people that are out there now, they don't want to rock the boat, but if they don't rock the boat, they're going to lose. Their kids are going to lose their future. Your grandkids are going to lose their future. So I think we need to rock the boat, folks. And I don't mean by. I think that if we come out of this election without Donald Trump, that we should immediately start looking towards maybe a third party or something, you know, something that isn't full of these douchebags, you know. Both sides of because both sides of the aisle, as they say, are just screwing people left and right. You know, I mean, and where people say that they lose faith in government is because they have a Marjorie Taylor Greene in there who's just plain stupid. All right, I mean, how she got in there, I have no idea. Lauren Bobbitt's you know, I don't know what to call. I don't want to call her a tramp. I don't know. I just know she's gotten caught doing things that, you know, somebody in their position shouldn't be doing. So I have no idea how that's gonna go. But I think by the time these people that are sitting around start doing nothing except just voicing their opinions on saying he's a horrible person or this, that, or the other thing, once they get around to actually looking at what's going to happen and getting into the getting away from the personalities and everything and getting into the actual politics, I haven't seen anything proposed for health care, Social Security. The only thing I've seen proposed are tax cuts for the rich and plans that would increase. They've been like today. They did a Supreme Court decision that restricts the National Labor Board from interfering in labor negotiations. Not interfering. They're calling it interfering, but they can't get involved in labor negotiations now. So I think that's just another. I've seen stories where they want to do away with the child labor laws. You know, great. Your kid can't get to school, but he can work in a coal mine or something, no problem. Because that's what they want. They want to bring mining back. Increase coal mining, increase oil drilling. All right. I don't think that. And believe me, they're not going to use people to do that. They'll end up using robotics and artificial intelligence to do that, and that'll just kill the planet. You know, they don't. I guess because they're old, they don't care about the future. You know, and my friends, because they're old, they're not too worried about it because their kids are out of college and everything, so they're on their own, so they don't have to worry. Blah blah blah. You're gonna have grandkids. Better start worrying. You really should. All right, listen. It's Friday. I got some things to take care of, and so I'll see you guys tomorrow.